You know, for a fictional game, Quidditch is seriously flawed. I know it, you know it, we've just never discussed why. Until now. Let's head down the rabbit hole and learn something today. My name's Hayden, welcome to Story Masters. So we all know how Quidditch works. 2 teams, 7 players on each team, get the quaffle through the goal, 10 points, catch the golden snitch, 150 points, and the game ends. Now, Quidditch is an amazing idea. JK Rowling has invented an incredible sport for her story world by combining the tropes of witches on broomsticks with the gist of rugby. It's an iconic part of the books and films that further develops the use of magic in the wizarding world. So why doesn't Quidditch work? Number 1, there are too many balls in play. If you're at a Quidditch match, do you watch the chases where most of the action is happening? Or do you watch the seekers try to catch a near invisible snitch? If you tried to do both, your neck would get sore, you'd probably get a migraine. Number 2, the second aspect is runtime. A game can last indefinitely. Everything rests on the seekers catching the snitch, or both team captains coming to an agreement on ending the match. Now, on the one hand, if little Timmy gets all excited for the big World Cup, only to see his team lose after a few minutes of play, he's going to be disappointed. On the other hand, if a snitch hasn't been caught after 4 hours or 4 days, people will have lost interest by then. Also, people would have to return to their jobs, or the magical economy would suffer, presumably. Thankfully, in the books and films, this is never a problem because, surprise surprise, the game always ends when Rowling needs it to. Back in 2018, Rowling finally explained why her fictional game isn't flawed after someone tweeted this at her. The scoring system of Quidditch makes 0 sense. Rowling responded with, "It makes total sense. There's glamour in chasing an elusive lucky break, but teamwork and persistence can still win the day. Everyone's vulnerable to blows of fate and obstructive people, and success means rising above them. Quidditch is the human condition. You're welcome." The human condition. I mean, sure, soccer can be an allegory for life, but at least it's wrapped up in 90 minutes and doesn't have the potential to go on forever. Sorry, JK, but you're wrong. The real reason why the scoring system of Quidditch makes 0 sense is all to do with Harry. You see, the story of Harry Potter follows the structure of a hero's journey. In these stories, we see a young protagonist enter an unfamiliar special world. He is initiated into a secret culture, and under the tutelage of a mentor figure, he begins training to develop his true hidden talent. We see Luke Skywalker learns that he can use the Force, Neo learns about the Matrix. All our heroes begin as novices, but by the end of the series, they have mastered their skills and have become godlike. So Quidditch is just really about catching the snitch. That's the main thing. Accumulating points through the quaffle is almost pointless, as the winning Seeker earns 150 points and ends the game. In fact, the Seeker is the only position that can actually win the game. Rowling knew that her story world needed a sport, but she also knew that her chosen one protagonist needed to come out of nowhere and win the day. So in order to accomplish this, she created the position of Seeker to do just that. So having only just learned about magic a few months ago, and having never played a game of Quidditch in his life, as well as his broomstick being cursed by Quirrell, Harry goes on to win the game and brings home the bacon for Gryffindor. So for all intents and purposes, Rowling's version of Quidditch is basically there just to service the story of Harry and his journey from novice to god. But when it comes to real-world practicality, Quidditch is kind of unbalanced and potentially boring. So when they finally invent hoverboards and then hover broomsticks, how do we fix Quidditch? The position of Seeker should be dropped and a time limit on matches introduced. Problem solved. You're welcome, JK. I just want to clarify that I'm a big Harry Potter fan. The books and films are my childhood. My analysis of Quidditch is not to degrade the books, but rather to gain better insight into Rowling's narrative choices. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. If you'd like to see more, then jump aboard the Story Master Express. Price of admission is just hitting that subscribe and like button.